Last time on 4 Players, 1 Dungeon.
And the tunnel from the roadhouse emerges in a spot nearby that's screened by trees and brush from the camp.
So we're coming out of this tunnel into an outdoor kind of trail area.
Yeah. The only reason there's even a trail is the traffic that the lizard.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to ask. So we can kind of track where these guys are coming from pretty easily. You can see where they're dragging the crates along.
There's the only that's. In fact, if you leave the trail, you'll have to make a nature check. You guys come upon a work camp. 3 dugout canoes are drawn up near one of the lean-tos. A few dozen yards beyond the campsite in the direction you've been traveling, dry land ends. Other than moss-covered trees, fallen logs, and thick clumps of reeds, nothing rises above the still black water. Mave.
Yes.
As they're discussing everything, out of the corner of your eye, you see something on the water. You look up, you kind of turn to look at it. You notice there's 3 canoes coming towards the bank.
Davlin wants to try to go stealth and get a vantage point on these guys.
You guys sit there, and they pull up on the shore.
When you say they,
they're lizard folk, and they build a fire.
How many of them?
There's 9 of them. Night goes by. Sun breaks over the horizon. 7 of the lizardmen start up the trail.
On foot up the trail, okay.
2 stay back in the camp.
Scar should be able to communicate on a basic level. Draconic. They might understand me, but I don't understand what they're saying.
Davlin's going to run up and try to grapple the first one and throw the manacles on him.
We're not dragon healers. We're friends of your lizard folk. We want the dragon healers dead. Do you want them dead?
We want to be free.
You're their slaves.
Slave.
If we could free you, would you help fight against them?
He says, Sir Furman. No promise for all. I help. Might find others.
Others? How many? Well, at this point, I'm going to stop and we're going to talk about the mayor of Dead Men for a moment. Shawn, how do you spell the word hair?
H-A-I-R.
How do you spell the word pear? Spell mirror.
Mirror?
Not the one
mirror.
Spell the word you say. Spell mayor of Dead Men.
M-E-R-E. Of Dead Men.
Okay.
Mayor.
So,
Mirror.
would you mind if you came over hair?
Alright. Since he's done busting my balls over pronunciation.
Water.
You mean pronunciations, Shawn?
In the Midwest, 4 friends gather together. They all share one common bond, a love for Dungeons and Dragons. Join Davlin, Mave, Scar, and Varis as they make their way through the Horde of the Dragon Queen, a 5th edition D&D campaign. Welcome to 4 Players, 1 Dungeon, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Alright, so you guys go through the door, the passage between. Guys come into the inner ward and immediately set upon by 3 drakes.
Sweet.
Oh, drakes.
Okay, can we kind of get a little bit of a map here?
I think we should.
By the way, Shawn, I think this has to be a very hard chapter for you to negotiate because of the way we play and with the maps and such. So I think you're doing a good job, man. I think that's something that needs to be noted.
Even if your pronunciations are okay.
Hey, man, his pronunciations, whatever.
I speak hick, leave me alone.
But you know what? You know what I'm going to say?
I'm sorry, I ain't one of these high fancy city folk.
You know what I'm going to say is this. Shawn's the motherfucker that said, you know what?
Period.
Well, Shawn's the motherfucker's like, I'll run Horde of the Dragon Queen. And that allowed me to play with Davlin and Varis and Mave. Man, I really like playing. I really do. And it's not that I don't like running, but I really like playing.
Me too.
You see 3 drakes and they're definitely getting ready to charge at you.
Sure.
Davlin's in the lead at this point, right?
Yes.
Throw him some meat.
So Davlin's going to run up on the first Drake as my declaration. I'm going to start attacking him with my rapiers.
All right. Varis.
Throw him some fucking meat.
I have no meat to throw.
The meat just ran in there.
So I'm going to use Warding Flare.
All right. Mave.
Gonna cast sleep.
Mm.
No. Dang.
Was Scar screaming out loud, throw them some meat?
Yeah, rations, like some of that fish or whatever. Throw him some meat.
Okay, well then I'm going to pause my my action if I hear that.
Well,
because he's right behind me.
Yeah, right now you're just declaring. He's yelling. You're getting ready to run in.
Well, that's why I raised my hand and said, whenever we go into this, we open the door up, and the first thing I think is bait.
Okay.
Bait.
Excellent.
Throw him some meat.
Fine.
Did anybody take any of that stuff? I didn't.
Dude, rations. You have some rations.
I do.
Throw him some rations. I mean, something, right?
Okay, so I will throw. How many days worth of rations do you want me to throw, Shawn? Just a handful, we'll say.
I'm not going to suggest anything. You're the player. It's your stuff. You tell me how much to throw it out.
Okay, I'm going to throw 2 days worth of rations, just as far as I can, underhanded.
So, like
basically.
maybe a
Like salted meat.
maybe
Yes.
a thing of sausages,
Yes.
or something like
Some
that.
jerky.
Well,
Whatever.
something
Yeah.
that like
my meat substance,
he's
not my
got a
rotted
fucking
bread.
pepperoni log
Yeah.
or whatever.
Bologna log.
No, not the meat log.
Not the pimento loaf.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's what you want to do. Like you want to. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm real rude.
That's fine. You're fine.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to throw some shit in there.
Yeah, see what happens.
You're getting ready to cast a spell. Maeve is...
I'm waiting to see what they do, and if... Oh, no, I'm waiting to see what they do.
Yeah, basically, if they don't take the meat, I'm doing Warding Flare.
Yeah, we're all going to hold our action at this point to see if they take the bait,
All right, so...
and if not, the warding flare will go off. That's the trigger. If they don't take the bait, warding flare goes off.
You don't have to shield your eyes either. It only goes towards attacking enemies.
Okay,
All right, everybody roll initiative.
Oh shit!
here
It's
goes.
bang time.
Davlin gets a 20, not natural.
Scar gets a 20, not natural.
Maid gets a 20.
Nice.
Not natural.
Not natural.
Varis.
Paris.
Varis is 19.
Damn! Damn!
Alright, what's your deck?
We're super quick.
You're looking at a +2 modifier.
Well,
What's your deck?
Plus 5.
Just to let you know, I rolled an 18 for them.
Nice.
They're
We
going to have
just ran
higher
over.
fucking initiatives than we do, don't they?
No, they
No,
don't have
okay.
a bonus. So.
Okay.
So,
But I'm just saying.
so here's your order, DM. It's going to go Davlin, and then Mave, and then Scar, and then Varis, and then the Drakes.
Yeah, but I figured I'd let you know how close it
Yeah, that was
actually-
awesome.
Everybody was rolling high on that one. So, Davlin throws out a meat log.
Not the pepperoni!
Everybody else just sets up to see what happens. Go ahead and let your spell go off.
Nobody takes the meat log, huh?
And
It's worth a
Davlin,
shot.
Alright, I got some shit.
and Davlin, yeah, at the top of the order, would like to move up and start attacking the first
Well,
Drake.
Varys has his
That
spell
would
go
definitely-
off.
All right, so basically all that happens is my holy symbol goes up, and there's just a flash of light, and they're now at disadvantage for this round.
All three of
This is-
them?
All
If
three
I'm
of
in the
them.
range of it, I bet you will.
Doesn't say that.
Alright,
Okay.
so they're at disadvantage, so go ahead, Davlin.
Davlin's going to move up. He's going to move 10 feet in. And he's going to do. He's going to initiate one of his maneuver dice to do enhanced footwork. So I'll roll a d8 to start that off.
Mhm.
So I get a +3 to my armor class. I'll be a 22 armor class at this point. Davlin's going to do 3 attacks on the first Drake, so I'll roll the first 2.
When Davlin moved 10 feet in, he put himself in position to fight off 2 drakes, and he's actually blocking the third's line of sight to the doorway, which opens up a corridor for us to
Move in.
flank to the north. Is it the north?
Yeah.
If we had the opportunity.
Yes.
So, good tactics. Good tactics.
So I'm going to roll my first 2 attacks. All 3 attacks are going to go on the first Drake unless I lay him down.
Designate the first Drake.
The one closest to us?
Yes, the one that's closest to the doorway. It's the brown Drake in front of me.
All right.
Okay.
So it would be the one, and straight to my 9 or to my midnight.
No,
and then
I
this
got
one,
you. I got you.
there we go. So 2 attacks first. I roll a 26 for 14 points of damage, and a 22 for 16 points of damage for my first 2.
All right.
Third attack, I get a 12.
Never mind.
Okay.
So you stick him a couple times real good. It is now Mave.
I'm going to, as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic. I'm going to do Bardic Inspiration for Davlin, and as my action, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on Davlin, and I'm going to cast it for Cat's Grace, which means that you get advantage on dex checks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
The good enhance ability besides that one is the Constitution.
Constitution.
The
Which
bear.
one? Oh, bears
It
and
gives you the hit
endurance.
points.
I take it back. I'm casting Enhance Ability and giving him bear's endurance, which gives him advantage on con checks and gains a 2d6 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Here's your 2d6.
Go ahead and roll.
Yeah, you roll them
Yeah,
and
roll
add
them
the
for me.
temporary hit points.
Look at that.
11.
So I am at a 67 hit points.
Now,
right
there
now,
is a space for
yes.
temporary, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've got it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? No, you have 11 temporary
Yeah,
hit
you have
points.
11 hit
Okay.
temporary.
And you're going to take
Plus that.
from...
And it lasts for
So
an
those go
hour.
off first.
Those go off
basically.
first. Yeah, there's a separate box for them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's
Yes.
really cool. Good job, Mave.
Thanks.
All right, so Scar.
Okay. Scar...
Yeah, did it maybe move at all, or you just
No.
stay right there? Okay.
No, I stood there and I cast. I'm hooking you up, yo.
Scar sees the fluid motion of Davlin when he starts fighting, and then he sees what Mave is doing, and immediately Scar dashes. Scar dashes around Mave to the protected flank, which is on the north side of the inner bailey. That's my half move right there. And he dashes across the inner bailey away from combat to the only set of doors that we see. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Scar, as you run over there, there must have been a wooden door on this tower when it was built to cover the dungeon pit beneath it. Now the floor is gone and the dungeon has been turned into a garbage pit and latrine filled with foul-smelling waste to just a few feet below the level of the doorway. The floor above is badly rotted and large portions have collapsed. Through the gaping holes in the second floor, you see that the third floor is still in good condition. But to reach the stone stairs that circle upward around the outer wall, you must cross 10 feet of indescribable muck.
Noted.
Use your staff as a
Vault.
vault.
So, that's what you see when you run over there.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Mave. Oh, wait, you already went. It's Varis, sorry.
Alright. Varis is running up. Well, not running. Let's see.
The elf that's a dwarf is winking up there.
Let's see. Let's see. So, and then I'm